I just sent it. Well, it says there's 3 people in here. I am. Okay, am I straight or sideways? Am I straight or sideways? Am I right side up now? Well, I can't only do what I can do. This is just the phone. I'm going to try to get it in this folder. Can you see the little wall hanging? Okay. People are coming back. Were you able to post that link? People must be finding it, because there's 7 now. While that's doing it, I'm going to go ahead and just set this sewing thing down here on the floor, because that's what I'm going to do. Put myself on the table on the computer. Gosh, this machine's heavy. Holy Toledo. Okay, guys. Well, as you may know, or not know, my life is crazy, as usual. I hope you can all see me. I'm going to try to speak this direction, because I think my body's getting put off in the screen. Okay, I think I'm getting better, maybe. The top of my head, I have a nice top of the head. It's a very nice top of the head. Is it any better? Oh, my whole nose? No. So, you can see me now? Well, yes, not the part below the table. Okay, good. So, since I am doing this by myself, as long as Sky isn't horribly busy, she might be my ear. Or you can call me, or whatever, if there's something that comes up. I'm going to try to be able to read my own comment. So, because I can't, I'm going to try, but I can only see what I can see. Anyways. Oh, Suzanne, I'm so glad you're able to pop in and say hi. Anyway, so Suzanne, made our wall hanging for us. So she made this, she, sent it with us, so we haven't got it quilted yet because, we just did the wedding and everything this past weekend, so, but it will be quilted and that, so, but she was kind enough to test our pattern and, she made this and we're gonna quilt it up for her and that, and I didn't think we'd see her because of her new job, for this morning, but she was able to pop in for a second anyhow, so thank you very much, Suzanne, for doing that for me. I so appreciated it, and, she said she was willing to do more for me, and that's a big weight lifted off of my shoulders, and I do really, really appreciate that. And stress is a huge factor in my life, you know, but we won't go into all that craziness. Anyhow, so the wedding's over, hallelujah. I didn't kill anyone or wasn't killed by anyone, so that was really nice. And, I haven't got my cutting done, but, you know, it is what it is. And, things really aren't what I had planned for them to be for this week, but I wanted to kind of fill everybody in on how this is. My plan was supposed to work, okay? We've never done YouTube Live before, which we're gonna try to do more of. YouTube has just changed their stuff around, and they are, changed the number of hours and whatnot. So like right now we have like nearly 5,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. And anytime we do a live event, as long as you have subscribed, and my understanding is click that little notification bell, you will get a notification anytime we do a live event. And so that way you're notified, and anytime we do anything live, you'll get a notification saying, hey, Carol's Country Kitchen is live, and you can pop over and check it out. Or if you're busy and not around, you'll have that notification waiting for you when you get home or the next time you're at your computer or whatnot, and you can pop over and watch the repeat after the fact, you know. So it's kind of a nice thing if there's somebody you really enjoy watching, and, you know, maybe you're out and about, or maybe you're at work like Suzanne, and you can't watch it all at, you know, then you can pop in the evening or whatever and watch it later. So, needless to say, so this, you know, but you have to hit that notification bell, otherwise, you know, you're not gonna get a notification, and you're gonna have to check, and, you know, who's got time for all that? I know some of you really do watch a lot of YouTube. YouTube for me, I don't watch much of it. My sons watch it constantly, so I know it's the way that a lot of people are doing tons and tons of things. It just hasn't, hey, I just got onto this whole TikTok thing, so I'm trying. I just haven't gotten there yet. Anyway, so, last night, between Bob and Sky, mostly Sky, she, was able to get a message to Bob for me and send out the pattern. She made the cover for the pattern for me, and, get that out so you guys would get a copy of the pattern. Future, and just like when we're, the other classes and stuff, occasionally the pattern you would, need to purchase. This pattern, if I would have had all my ducks lined up, would have been like $4.99. Not a ton of money, you know, but, $4.99. We are gonna do this in 3 parts, but we needed to do it if we were gonna get it done for Halloween, okay? And the reason I'm doing it in 3 parts is just because I want to go over the applique in a separate class. I wanted to go over the quilting, okay? It's not a huge project, but for people who are newer to piecing and quilting their own projects, this is a nice one because it's not going to take forever. It's not overly large, so it'll be really nice. There's not tons of applique, but you know, you could try different things, different stitches on your sewing machine to be able to do it and not be totally overwhelmed. You know, it's not a ton. So anyway, so in the pattern it tells you all the cutting instructions. So and it's very specific, and you can use mostly straps unless you have a charm pack, a Halloween charm pack or something you wanted to use, which you can definitely do. You're gonna, it tells you to how many charm squares to cut. So charm square is 5 inches, if, in case you didn't know that already. So you're gonna need 21 5-inch orange squares, a variety of different colors of orange, so Suzanne did great. Suzanne, and you can have multiples of the same one, it's fine. You know, so if you have a limited number of orange, you know, if you have two or three of the same one, perfectly fine. Same thing with purple and or black, which I picked. I picked out purple and black for mine because I didn't have a ton of one or the other, so I picked, you know, some of both. I even chose this fabric here because I thought it was really cool. It's got spiderwebs in it that are green and orange and white and purple on black, so I thought that would be a cool background fabric too. So I'm going to use that in mine. So whatever you like. Anyway, yes. I don't know how that works. First time. They're having trouble talking or hearing? Hearing. Can they turn the volume up on their hickeys?
Oh, I hope so. I will make it, send them a message.
I put the volume up on I put the volume up on my computer. That didn't do me any good at all now, did it?
No. It's the one.
I'm sitting here putting the volume up. Not a lot of good.
The mic.
The mic is, the mic is in the van.
That won't help.
That won't help. Okay, I'll try to talk really loud. Is that any better?
You know, they're saying, can you use the mic?
I'd love to.
Still having, she says her volume is maxed and she's still having trouble.
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna go out to the driveway. Hold on.
Okay, let me know. So at least you guys aren't listening to elevator music.
Dusty and the boys.
Did you get it?
I don't know where Dusty and the boys.
Peaches.
All right, Dusty, or text Bryce. Can you text Bryce, Dad?
Yep.
Can you find out where he is?
I got lots of sticky notes for the mic is.
Well, I know where the mic is. It's in my white plastic drawers that I take to, like, the fairs and stuff.
Uh-huh.
but I don't know where those drawers are.
Okay.
I don't know where they unloaded them.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, guys, I moved you closer. I don't know if you can hear any better.
I think you can.
Because I'm gonna do some cutting, so I did move you a little closer. There's the piece I need. And I will try, Guy's trying to get a hold of Bryce, who might know where they unloaded the box that has the mic in it. And if they do have it, or if he does, and he can bring it to me, well then,
We're golden.
I might be able to use the mic. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting my square. Okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, from the various fabrics that I've got here, I'm gonna cut 24 5-inch purple, and in my case I'm using some purple and some black fabric for my background. Okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna cut a strip of this because I really like it. So I'm not gonna mind if there's extra pieces of this because I think it's just so cute. Okay. Did they type that they can hear me any better? Or they just think I'm a wacko and...
Well, I'm not going there.
You're supposed to be my friend.
Oh, for that's a I look at you. I'm not going there. It says, just going to the mic in my body, step. I haven't had any comments since then. I mean, look again, like that. Still having trouble.
I'm working on it, guys. I'm gonna talk really loud till then. Guy's gonna probably need earplugs.
I've got some.
But don't worry, she has them.
Yes, I did. Somebody sent me a bunch in the mail. How did you? My
You,
friend.
you know who your friends are.
Yeah.
When they send you things, you try to return them. You try to return them. These things happen.
They do.
It's a real thing.
Us? Yep.
Alright, so now 6 might be a little bit of overkill here, but what the heck? I've got them. Is everybody using your little thread catcher? I love mine. Now, also on your list is for the variety of purples and whatnot. Now, this might be too light, but I really do think it's a cool fabric.
Go with cool every time. I'm telling you.
Go with cool? Cool fit?
I'm telling
Do you
you.
not, do you think it's too light?
There might be some pieces, but try to cut around the real bright.
Okay.
But it is cool.
It really is cool. Alright, I will.
Here you go.
I'll give it a go. Anyway, so I was hoping to have this done before I got down here. But the wedding has essentially just about killed me. I'm so glad it's over. Do you ever have that feeling? I did. So I'm thankful that it's done. I'm thankful that they're married. I'm thankful that there's only one son left. And I'm thankful that he'll only probably be single the rest of his life.
Poor Bryce.
Thankful that I didn't have daughters. How about that? Whew. I do have a granddaughter though, but that won't be my responsibility. Don't laugh, Di. I know, I've been put in charge of many weddings that weren't my responsibility. It's true, I know. It's not funny.
I'm sorry, but okay, we're going with that. It'll be a wait and see situation, right?
Di.
Oh,
Anyway, so, is everybody getting their booster shots? I saw Chantel did.
Is everybody getting their what?
Booster shots. A lot of people are getting their COVID booster shots. I know Chantel got hers. I saw her post it yesterday, I think. I think she posted it yesterday.
Suzanne Freeman says there's a white noise over the sound. I don't get that. I've got a computer up, my phone up, and another computer, and I don't get it on any of them.
Huh.
So I don't know what the deal is with that. Maybe it's her connection, I don't know.
Is anybody else getting white noise?
Waiting on Marlon to be approved. What?
Annette Hilton says she's got volume.
Oh, good, Burnett, yay, we got one.
I don't know, I'm just gonna keep talking loud, guys. Did you hear from Bryce?
Nope,
He might still be in the woods for all we know.
he probably is, and if he's there, then.
Yeah. Although he did text me a little bit ago, but he could have texted me from the woods. It's archery season, which is Bryce's favorite holiday.
Well, I did a PM, couldn't find his contact, I don't know why, I don't have his contact stuff in my phone. So I PM'd him, and I haven't heard anything back. Oh, yes, he finally got back. The white doors are probably in the van.
I looked in the van. I didn't find him in the van. Maybe I should go back and look in the van again. Maybe they're just buried under something and I didn't look good enough.
There, any other ideas?
I'm going back.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm coming back, guys. Don't worry. I have all day.
I found it. Can they hear me now?
I found it. Can you hear me now? Great, good job.
Okay, I hope they can hear better. I about killed myself. You'll never guess. Wonderful. Okay. I'm back with these fabulous microphones. The only bad thing that could happen now is that my old cell phone could die. But I found the things. Because I had to crawl in the back of the van, which I don't do. It was clear in the very front, underneath a bunch of folded up boxes. It was not good. And I hit my head. You know, you can't stand up in there. But I made it anyway. So, Bryce just came in. He apparently didn't catch anything.
Did you taste that girl or did she taste you?
I don't know. I'm doing class now. She'll have to wait. Anyway, so I'm glad you can all hear me. I don't think you missed much. So really all I'm doing right now is cutting charms. And I was telling you a little bit about the wedding, like that I'm so happy that it's over. And those of you who are here and are planning on joining us for the mystery quilt retreat, I'm very glad. This retreat we're doing a lot different because, well, we learned so much from the last one. I think we all learned a lot. I know I did. What not to do, what we could do better, things to make it better. Obviously, this quilt's going to be simpler. I am going to do the cutting, well, all of the cutting except for the border print. I'm not going to cut the border print simply because it's going to have to be cut lengthwise, and there's no telling whether it's rolled straight on the bolt or not. So there's no way for me to really cut that in the laser to be 100% sure that it's accurate. So I won't be cutting the border strips. But, you know, that's only 4 strips, and I figure you all probably can handle that. But everything else will be cut for you and ready to go. So that will be really nice as far as your mystery quilt goes. So that's going to save you a bunch of time. Any of you who already signed up should have received an email with a, I don't know if there was a code or not, what there was exactly, because I can't remember. I know that we talked about it, but listen, it was wedding. I don't remember. But I know anyways, any of you who already have signed up and that if you got a friend to sign up also, you're going to get a free mystery quilt small project kit for free that we're going to send along with your mystery quilt if you got a friend to sign up. So that's a fun little add-on at no additional cost to you. So, you know, get online, invite your friends to join us, and all you have to do is send Sky an email or something to that effect with your friend's information, and we will make sure that you get a bonus kit with your kit. So, hey, free fabric, right? Everybody can use that. So that's fun. I did see a couple of new names, so that's exciting. And I know Margot is feeling bad about not getting to join us this time, so she was last night was sending us some fun little games that we can do while we're doing in between our clues and stuff, because her daughter's getting married retreat weekend. So she will not be home, and I think they're expecting quite a little bit of snow there where the wedding is going to be in Canada. So she's going to be there for the wedding, so she won't get to join us on the retreat this time. So she's a little bummed about that, but very excited for the wedding, and I'm excited for her. So her and I were dress shopping. Although she went to an actual store and tried things on, I tried my dress on the morning of the wedding. You know, I guess I do life just like I do this. By the seat of the pants. But it fit. The dress fit. Okay. All right, so I'm still cutting my little squares. Now, on your cutting instructions, it does say to cut 2 6-inch squares of each color, because you need to make a couple of half square triangles. And those are going to be for the corners of your little pumpkin guy. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I have this really cool print. It's kind of a paint splattery look, and it's got some white and gray and purple like splatters on it. So I think I'm going to use that for one of my 6-inch squares. And because it's kind of cool looking. And I'm going to use this for one of my sets of half square triangles. Apparently I'm going to use it for some 5-inch squares too, because I forgot already that quick that I was going to use it for 5-inch squares or 6-inch squares. And then we're doing them 6-inch because normally it would be 5 7/8, but then then if you don't sew an accurate 1/4-inch seam, then you have to. So this way we can just trim them down a little bit. All right. So, and I think most people prefer to trim down a little bit than to have to worry about that 7/8. So the pattern just says to cut them the 6 inches. I truly feel like I talk to myself when I do this.
Oh, baloney.
What?
Everybody's listening.
I know, but I feel like I'm talking to myself because nobody else is talking,
Okay, fine. You want me to chatter? I don't think so.
Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and cut a 6-inch square. Now that I remembered. Of that one, and I'm gonna do I'll do a 6-inch square of this one. I've got lots of binding to do, guys. Dusty was on a roll the last week before the wedding, and I was in hurry up and sew mode because I had to get Justin and Sam's quilt finished before the wedding, which I did get it finished, and Dusty did get it quilted, so that was a miracle of its own.
And it's beautiful.
And I did not, although I did not get the binding done, but I did take pictures of it and I showed them, and then they stopped the morning they were leaving, Monday morning before they left for their honeymoon. And they saw it, and I told them I'd have the binding on it by the time they got home. But I didn't have it on it. I said there was just too much to do.
Did they love it?
They did love it, and it matched. The background fabric is the absolute ugliest color on earth. It really is. Like, you would never go into a fabric store and choose that fabric. You just wouldn't. It's just an ugly color, but it truly matches this fabric. That fabric line, it really matches it really, really well, and it is the color of their paint. It really matches their paint in their house really, really, really well. So that was the color.
Are you saying the paint in the house?
Oh yeah, it's ugly. Yep, that's what I'm saying. It's ugly. It's ugly.
I just wanted to be clear,
So, anyways, so Bryce just went next door. He's going to cut some metal. And I've got some orders to go out with that.
Yeah, he's a keeper.
He is a keeper. I'll keep him. Yes, and we're dog sitting now too. So we have, not as if we didn't have enough dogs of our own. Now we have Justin's dog as well. Yes, yay us. Listen, he didn't even ask us. He just told us, I'm dropping off the dog.
Well, if he'd asked, he might have a possibility of you guys saying no.
Well, I think I'd have told him to take it to his new in-laws.
Oh, hey, there's an option.
Well, he's watched their dog a million times.
Well, then that's only fair.
Well, that's what I thought. And they only have one dog.
Thank goodness.
So, it would be where I have, Bryce has 3 dogs of his own. I don't know how many of these I have. I have not been counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Isn't this the cutest?
I don't know, I can't see it. Oh, that is cute.
It's very cute.
It is. You know this cute fabric.
Out of the bin. Remember, Halloween is my favorite.
You just store it up. When it's something you really like, you just buy it.
Yeah, Halloween's my favorite. And I like bug fabric. I know. Well, it's because I'm the mother of boys. So I always collected bug fabric because I had boys.
Well, it's a good thing it wasn't ballerina fabric.
Yeah, no ballerinos here. Okay, so I'm going to cut some. I've got to have some 6-inch squares of this. So anyway, so you're going to cut your 6-inch squares, 2 6-inch squares of orange to go with your 6-inch squares of purple. So these are going to whip up really quickly, and you're going to make your layout. The only thing that you're going to fuse this week is your you're going to fuse your stem piece, which is towards the back of your pattern. You're going to fuse your, trace your green stem, your stem onto your fusible web and fuse it to the back of your green fabric and cut it out so that when you sew your purple, you're going to sew it or fuse it to the bottom edge of your purple square. You don't need to applicate or anything, but I want you to fuse it there so that when you sew that the grid out, that it's in the seam, if that makes sense. Yep. So we're going to sew that in there just so it's in the seam, and then next week when we do the applique, we're going to applique around the top of the stem. But there's no point in worrying about stitching around the bottom when we can simply just do that when it's in the, we can just put it in the seam and we don't have to stitch around the bottom. That's it. I don't have to monkey business. No extra monkey business. I do. I have a lot of monkey business going on here. Anyways, anyhow, I'd hope to have this all cut out, but as usual, life is life here. I do. I have lots of stuff to do, and I've got businesses to run, and Justin leaving town, and Bryce can run the plasma cutter fine, but he's never powder coated before, so that's a whole nother learning experience that we're learning on the fly.
Well, he hasn't electrocuted himself yet.
Well, yes, Justin's the king of electrocuting himself. And we don't have the big oven up and running yet. So we have a bigger oven that we're working on for powder coating. So right now we're just using a regular standard oven for powder coating. So if whatever the object is we're powder coating for the other business, the metal, if it does not fit in a regular standard kitchen oven, it can't be powder coated. Which is an issue because some of the pieces that we do are bigger than a standard oven. So that means they are only getting automotive paint and automotive clear coat because we can't, if it doesn't fit in the oven, it doesn't fit. So, and it's nicer if it can be powder coated. It doesn't mean it's lasts forever, but it does last longer. Yeah, I mean, if it were to get chipped or anything like that, obviously it would still rust, but these are so cute. This one has little flowers on it. Anyways, so I hope you're all cutting. Maybe everybody got their cutting done last night, which would be so much further ahead than me. Well, that's because you were scrambling making emails happen. There we go. So very cute. this little skeletons.
They are very.
All right. So the only bad thing about so far, I want everybody's opinion too, what they think about after we're done with this. Send us a little email or a little message on Messenger or whatever, what you think about the YouTube Live thing. I mean, because they say we have to have 2,000 more hours of YouTube Live views in order to monetize our channel. And that's a new thing for YouTube, I guess. So, and once everything's posted to YouTube, it's there, forever, and you can rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it forever. So I kind of want your opinion on that and how it works, or what you think of it, compared to Zoom. It does save us a step. I mean, because right now doing it in Zoom, we have to take it from the Zoom platform, and then Sky has to go through all the rigmarole of then uploading it to YouTube, where when this is done, it's already there. So I know that whomever can go in and edit or whatever they need to do there, and it does save a step, which is kind of nice. What, Sky?
They're wondering who you're talking to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking to Sky.
There you go, Pat.
She thought I was schizophrenic. I do feel a little schizophrenic after this whole wedding hoopla.
It's really a hard thing. Weddings are hard.
I mean, why wouldn't these people just wait until after this whole pandemic crap was finished and done with? Wouldn't that be smarter?
I don't know.
Good gravy. I mean, poor Margot, especially in Canada, because I mean, they're really, really, really strict there. I mean, and like she said, some of her family isn't vaccinated, and some of the family is vaccinated, and so they've got to have, they can't be together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they'll get fined. You can be fined. There, you can be fined. I mean, they don't play. Yeah, they don't monkey around. So, it's a real thing. And so
Does that mean part of the family don't want to the wedding?
they're doing something weird. So like Friday night, they're doing like this whole hors d'oeuvre thing. And so like the vaccinated part of the family will be like able to be in cabin A, and the non-vaccinated part of the family will be in a tent outside of cabin A. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Well, what do? You want them to be there. You want them to be part of your special day, but so it's really, I mean, it's really a big mess. I would have just waited.
Yeah, but you're not 20.
I'm not. I'm not. No, I'm not 20. Thank goodness. Oh, guys, I got new chickens. Yes. My son and daughter-in-law, whom live with her grandparents, her mother lived with them her whole life. So, she was raised living with her grandparents. And Austin and Evie live with them now. And they had a lot of chickens. And they had chickens, just meat chickens that they butcher and and that. But they also had other chickens, pretty chickens. And I mean, they have names, and the baby loves them. And they have one turkey, and her name's Lurky Turkey. And she's very nice. She's very friendly. And so, but her grandparents want rid of these birds. They don't like them anymore. They're over it. They're pooping in the yard, and they just don't want them. So they asked me about if they could bring some of these birds to my house. And I said, well, you can't bring the ducks because I'm not having any ducks, because the ducks have to have water all the time, and enough water to swim and whatnot, and it's hard in the winter time and stuff, and winter's getting closer, so no ducks, I told them. And I mean, they've got some really expensive ducks. So no ducks, I told them. And I told them no more guineas. I wouldn't take any more guineas because I already have a good many guineas. But they could bring the turkey, and they could bring some chickens. Well, the first thing she put the turkey in, and my turkeys and that turkey weren't nice to each other. So the turkey, she had to take the turkey back home. But the chickens were fine. So she left me chickens. And they're all different pretty chickens that I don't have. So, yes. And they're very friendly because, well, Annabella, So they're used to being handled by a 3-year-old. So, if you can put up with that, if you can tolerate that, you can tolerate anything. She does. So she's got chickens at Nana's house now. And then my guineas are laying eggs, which is really exciting. I mean, I guess I never really thought about them laying eggs, but they're not that old. I just got them this spring. So I was surprised and tickled. I'm tickled that they're laying eggs. That's exciting. Although I don't know what I would do with a guinea egg. I mean, because they're little bitty little eggs. They're very tiny little eggs. So I don't know. So last night when I discovered these eggs, they'd been laying them for some time underneath the rhododendron bush. So, and I didn't check under the blueberry bushes, which I suppose I should check there. And so I just hucked them all at the tree because they'll eat them. They will eat them. And they eat the shells and everything, which is good for their eggshells, future eggshells, because they will eat them. So, oh yeah, the little darlings. Well, yeah, but At least they're not going to waste.
Nope. That's very true.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
You hate to waste. So now I have these cool chickens that are laying more eggs now. I've got more eggs. I've got eggs coming out my ears.
I'm so jealous.
So many eggs. And you know, you can't even give them away.
I think that's criminal.
Nobody wants them. Everybody out here has chickens.
How about farmer's market in Meadville?
Now you want me to go to the farmer's market. I need another job.
I knew you'd love that. I just thought you're
I mean, I'd give them to somebody if they just would want them.
if they take them.
It's like the blueberries. I can't even give the blueberries away.
That breaks my heart.
All they have to do is come and pick them.
And you can't get anybody to do it.
Can't get anybody to do it.
Well, do you?
The first couple of years when we bought the house, I even picked them and couldn't give them away.
Wow. I don't understand.
Because I live really in the sticks. And people out here have fruit. They have fruit trees. They've got blueberry. I mean, everybody out here has their own bushes. They grow their own stuff. People in the country, man, they self, they do their own thing.
Yeah, they know how to take care of themselves.
It's not like city folk.
Yeah. Not like the city folks.
Yesterday, it was so funny. A fella who I've known him my whole life. And, he comes out and hunts with the kids and my dad and him. But he lives in Meadville, which Meadville's not a real city, it's a little bitty town.
Yeah.
But yesterday, Bryce and I were up getting chicken feed and stuff. And he gets out of his truck and he's got this golden doodle. A golden doodle is the dog. I said, what kind of dog is that?
Golden retriever in a.
And he says, oh, this is my son's dog. I brought it up here to get its nails cut. And I just looked at him and I thought that was odd. I'm like, really? Yeah. He says, us city folks, we can't do this stuff. I said, you gotta be kidding me. You can't cut your own dog's toenails? He said, the last time I did it, I made her bleed. I can't cut them again, he says.
Hey, did you tell them about us having a 5-inch charm template up on the website?
I didn't. Sky was just telling me, I'm sure you can't hear her, but she was just telling me to let you all know that we do have a 5-inch charm ruler on the website, which is nice, is new for us. Sugar. Because, some people might want to have one. Some of you may have an AccuCut, which you could use for this pattern. I'm going to count how many of these squares I've got now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22, 24. Oh, I got those. I've got enough of those. How many more of these? I need a few more of these. Does this look familiar?
What? Ah, yes.
Okay, I need a few more of these oranges.
Okay. These oranges. You got sidetracked. Did you tell them about the 5-inch template?
Oh, I have a 5-inch square template on the website now. I think it's $5.99. But if you want a 5-inch square to cut your charms with, we do have one on the website now, and you can just go there and probably search charm. Can you search charm, Sky?
You might be able to. You should be able to. It's in the description.
She's gonna let me know. She says we should be able to.
Anyway, because I have an AccuQuilt, cutter, and it's a 5-inch strip. I ruler because it makes it really easy to cut into 4-inch squares. I know you're supposed to be able to rotate the strips and cut them again, but it's easier with a ruler.
So, yeah. So Sky said she has the AccuQuilt thing where you cut the strips, and she says she prefers cutting the strips, and then she doesn't like to rotate them and then cut that way. She prefers to then use a ruler instead of not use the die the second time. So I don't know. I got rid of my AccuQuilt. I had the professional one. I didn't like it. I felt it wasted too much fabric, in my opinion. So, well, see, it was fine if you were truly using it to use scrap, but to cut brand new fabric, in my opinion, it was wasteful.
It really can be.
So,
But for applique pieces, it's
oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, but like I said, if you were cutting scrap, no problem. But if you're trying to cut brand spanking new fabric, you just paid an arm and a leg for. And I do want to have a serious discussion one of these days, ladies and gents, about digital prints and what your thoughts and feelings are. Because the quilt that I just pieced for Justin and Samantha for their wedding were from Northcott, and it was digital. It was all digital print. And I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on the digital print and how you felt the quality of the fabric was. Because I guess I was for paying, $13 a yard for it. and buying, I mean, it's a king size quilt. So, and I bought the backing at the same time. So just the backing, the top, the fabric for the quilt and the batting, there's $400 in that quilt. So that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
And
Hey, but this,
I have it in my it phrase so easy.
yeah. But having to pay $400 for that fabric for that top sure puts that retreat price of $165 into perspective, and what a great deal that is.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Sky. You're 100%. Sky was just saying. I know you guys can't hear, but Sky was just saying that the retreat price for the quilt, paying 165 for all the fabric for the quilt, and it being in the beginnings fabric, so and paying 165 for it, and you're getting your backing because we're doing the backing too, right, Sky?
Yeah.
So you're getting your backing and all the fabric for your quilt top
Yep.
for 165. That's really a good price. Anyways, but that's what she was saying about putting that into perspective with the mystery quilt retreat quilt. And like I said, Justin and Sam's quilt. And I mean, I didn't buy yards and yards of fabric for a border. I used the scraps and made a scrappy piano key border on that quilt. Um, so I wasn't, I was using every little piece of that fabric. So it wasn't like I had yards of leftover stuff. But that's how much it costs. It is what it is. And I was very, and it's Northcott, so it's a good quality fabric. I was just disappointed with how, and the last several times that I've bought Moda, I just think that it is the quality as far as the name brand fabric goes, I think has really gone downhill. Where like this that I'm cutting right now with the lots of dots that we've had, I mean, this stuff doesn't, it's a no name brand of fabric. It doesn't feel bad. It feels good. It's not stiff. It's not anything. It feels good, but it's not frayy.
See,
It's not
that,
crappy fabric.
okay, so we also had the Cheerio fabric too. That really had a nice hand to it.
Yes, we had the Cheerio fabric that, which was a company that I'd never heard of before. That what was that called, Sky? We even had it in the fat quarter bundles. That what was it, Emma? We
Well,
did it was the zebra and whatnot. Those fabric bundles.
yeah, that's cameo fabric that we got, but it was the orange one and the straps.
But they didn't. They weren't. But they're not frayy like those prints were. I've just been very disappointed. I mean, you expect more. You expect more from a company that's, they push it and push it and push it. And heck, when I had the shop, the brick and mortar, yeah, we carried and we brought in lines of Moda and lines of, of in the beginnings and lines of Benertex and so on and so forth. And I've been really, really disappointed with the quality of some of these fabric companies are bringing out. I've just been really, truly disappointed. So let me know your opinion on some of that because I'm really curious. I mean, you guys, I'm sure buy more fabrics and stuff like that, and whether you're buying pre-cuts or whatever than what I do. I mean, but I've been very, very disappointed. You spend that kind of money
Yeah.
and you expect to have a quality piece of fabric, and then for it to fray away like that,
No.
and it was, I just, to spend that kind, even Brian and Michelle's wedding quilt that I did, and I made it with two Moda jelly rolls, and it was very frayed. It frayed a lot. It was just very disappointing, I think. Anyways, there we go. I'm off my soapbox. I'm now done talking about my disappointment in fabric. Anyways, I don't know why we as consumers would continue to pay for a more expensive cut of fabric and have a lesser quality when we can pay for a less expensive fabric and it be of better quality, in my opinion. Because you know what? Nobody can read this salvage once it's in a quilt. Truly. You know what I mean? Nobody can read that. And most people don't know anyway. The people we're giving it out to, giving the quilts to, they don't know anything about it. I started putting my old ratty quilts that I can't bear to get rid of, right? My old ratty quilts that are like really just threadbare. I started putting them in the dog crate. Should I feel guilty about that?
I don't think you should. I think they should be really appreciative. They have wonderful warm quilts to sleep on.
They're not huge quilts. They're like little throw quilts or lap quilts, small. But I mean, they're like literally threadbare.
That's okay. The doctor allows keeps them from being cold.
Well, they've been washed a million times, and they just have seen better days. So I started putting them in the dog crate. I still wash them every couple of days because, they're dogs. Because right now the dogs are fighting over a deer antler. This is their latest. Bryce found a shed in the woods and he brought it home, and you'd have thought he brought them home a T-bone. They're thrilled. So they've been fighting over this shed for days. Whoever ends up with it in their crate. And thank you, Bernice. If Bernice is here, I don't know if she's here, but maybe she'll watch later. I have been putting Ashley in the crate, which is Bryce's little beagle dog, who's been giving me fits about housebreaking. Well, she's still giving me fits, but we're having a lot less accidents because, listen, she's going in the crate at night. And she even will walk in there for me real nice. I don't even have to, like, drag her kicking and screaming or anything. So now I'm going to, what?
That orange that's available on the website is the tonal orange fabric that's really pretty. This last batch, and it's by the yard.
Tonal orange. So we have a tonal orange fabric on the website.
Yep.
that is by the yard.
Yep.
And it is, how much is it a yard, Sky?
Let me check.
She's going to check on the cost because I can't remember. But I do know it is taking off an extra 10% at checkout. I do know that. And it is, I think today's the last day.
It's $7.99. Yeah, it's over tonight at midnight.
$7.99, and it's going to take off an extra 10%. So if you needed to add a little orange to your stash, now's the time.
And it's a really nice orange. It's beautiful.
So, and in my opinion, you can never have enough orange. So on the back of your 6-inch orange squares, draw a diagonal line if you haven't already. I'm assuming you already have because you probably were ahead of the game and actually followed directions and, did things that you were supposed to and all those things. Anyways. And if for some reason I cut out, it's just because my phone died. It wasn't because I was trying to ignore you or anything else. So, because I don't know how much charge left. I mean, this phone was completely charged when we started, but, who knows?
Do you have a charger you can plug it in?
Well, I can't because I have the microphone plugged in. You can only plug in so many things to your phone at once. And everybody wanted a microphone, so now I have a microphone. But I can look on Amazon this afternoon, and I can see if there's a different thingamabobber. There might be some kind of an adapter that'll let me have a double thing, a splitter type thing. And I probably am going to order myself a new phone, maybe. Well, I've been putting it off, and I was waiting for the new iPhones to come out, which they have come out now, so... Because my dad gave his phone, which was my old iPhone 6, to my son. And now he doesn't have a phone. So I think he would take my iPhone 8 then. So, it's my responsibility to make sure everybody in my life has phones. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, I have a sewing machine. I know. Surprise! All right, here we go. I love this sewing machine. So if y'all haven't heard me say that before, I'm saying it again. I love the sewing machine. Love it.
Marcia said something about a wireless charger.
For an iPhone 8?
I don't know. She just said a wireless charger. They do have them, so I don't know. Maybe.
Will it do it from a distance, Marcia? If you have any details, let me know because, hey, I'm up for anything. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my purple and my orange and I'm going to put them right sides together.
Now these are for the quarters, right?
These are for the half square triangles.
Yeah, so that would be the corners of the pumpkin.
Corners of the pumpkin, yep. So we're going to sew a 1/4 inch on each side of that little line that I drew on there. Got to take my shoe off because, hey, who can sew with the shoe on? If you can, you're magical. You've got magical powers, baby. I can do it, but I prefer to do it without.
No, you have to sit the charger. You have to sit the phone on the charger so it sits across the charger.
Yeah, that's not any good. No good.
Definitely hear your sewing machine with that mic.
Oh, you don't want to hear the sewing machine?
No, I'm just saying we can. I don't know.
If I cover it up, I'll try to cover it up. My hand.
Didn't work. The bearer of bad news. Didn't work.
Sky says it didn't work. The hand. I was covering it up with my hand. She said it didn't work.
I don't know. Under your arm. I don't know.
I'm putting you in my armpits, just so you know. I'm putting you in my butt.
So here's the question. Do you want your mic?
You're gonna have to wait. There are no buttons on these mics at all. You can't have everything. Is it super loud even when I sit on it?
It's still loud, but not as loud as when you're trying to cover it with your hand.
Is it so loud as when I put it in my armpit?
It's maybe a little bit less than the armpit.
Okay, now that I stitched on both sides of that line, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut right down um, the line that I drew. So I'm just going to do it with my clippers or my scissors. I mean, you can cut it with your rotary if you want to. It doesn't matter. Either way is fine. There's no rule here. I might need to look on Amazon, Sky. Look on Amazon.
What am I looking for?
Looking for a splitter thingy.
Okay.
And a mic that would have a mute button on it.
Okay. I can do that.
Not a wireless mic. I have a wireless mic, but it doesn't work worth a fiddlestick.
Okay.
It's supposed to Bluetooth and be fabulous, and it's not so fabulous.
Not so fabulous.
No. Because in a perfect world, that's the perfect solution, but it's not as fabulous as it says it's supposed to be.
Okay. I will check on it.
Okay, so now I'm just doing a little finger pressing. You can press with an iron if you want. Oh, it's a miracle I didn't catch a thing on fire. So here we go. I've got a little half square triangle. You can cut your little dog ears off. Lots of people like to cut the dog ears off. They never really bothered me, but people like to do it, so whatever. If you're one of those people, whack them off. I know that our friend Karen Hart, she's got something going on. She won't be able to join us for the retreat this time. So we will miss her.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. We will, but she can invite a friend. And then she would at least get a mystery, she'll still get a mystery kit,
Yep.
even if she can't join us for the quilt itself, she'd still get a mystery kit. So we should maybe send the people, all the people that were in our retreat last time, Sky.
Okay.
Even if they can't join us, maybe they can still pass along the info.
Yeah. Just make sure they're friends and put their name in the note.
There you go. Yeah, then they get a free kit.
Yep.
Surprise! Everybody loves a surprise. I would love to have a surprise. That would be fun. Yes, so our border fabric came yesterday.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yes, it's bright and happy. And our sashing fabric came. Yep, so fabric's rolling in. So, but we've got to sell those 35 kits.
Well, and they're wanting to know when we're going to ship. As soon as we get all the fabrics together and
Yeah, we're not going to ship the fabrics until obviously we have all the fabrics in house.
cut, and it's cut.
We're not going to ship the fabrics until obviously we have all the fabrics.
Uh-oh. If you're talking, we can't hear you.
I'm talking.
Hear you.
I wonder why. Can you hear me now?
And two. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know what happened, but okay, so now make sure you take your little squares here and give them a quick little press if you haven't already done so. Press your seams light to dark. And then I want you to measure them and make sure they're measuring 5 inches, okay? Because if they aren't, we need to trim them down. Because we want them to be the same size as the rest of
Yep.
our pieces.
So they need to square up the corners to 5 inches.
Yep.
Perfect.
All right. So I'm just lining up the 45-degree line on my template or my ruler here with the 45-degree line in my half square triangle. And I'm going to line up the 5-inch line on my ruler as well along both edges, or as close to it as I can get. And I'm going to cut off both sides here. And then I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to do the same thing. Again, I'm lining up the 45. I'm lining up the 5-inch and the 5-inch. So the 5-inch on the bottom, 5-inch on the left. And then there's just a little freckle here. And a smidge on the top. And there we go. And I'm going to do that with all 4 of them. I don't know if any of you noticed that Carol Andreski's little grandson turned 7 months. Oh my goodness, what a happy little fella. He's just the happiest little guy. So very cute. I can't believe he's 7 months already. It's very hard to believe. I cannot believe it. And his whole life has been spent in quarantine.
What? Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was born during the pandemic.
And they're going to have, instead of millennials, we'll have pandemics.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
No, it's mind-boggling.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, really. Totally nutsoid.
I mean, I don't know if he's um in daycare or anything, but I mean, with his dad being a doctor and all,
Oh, wow.
and I know that he's had Carol and her husband locked up, you know. So, he knows what's going on. He's been on the front lines this whole time. And all the extra steps he's taken to keep his family safe
Yeah.
during this whole thing.
Yeah. Man,
And little ones, they have to be, unfortunately, they have to be exposed to germs. I mean, at the end of the day,
build up your immune system.
exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, they have to be exposed to germs. Okay, so I've got my little half square triangles now, all squared up. And I'm going to start putting together my grid here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got a cutting tip. Sky's got a cutting tip. Okay, Sky. Put your readers on before you start cutting, she says. Okay, she says it makes it much easier to make a square if you can see. Okay, I'm turning the volume down. No, I'm turning the speed down on my sewing machine. And I'll try to sew slower and maybe it'll be quieter.
Okay, let's try it.
Okay, I'm going to try it. All right. Oh. Oh, that was the scissors. You're sounding really weird. Oh, sigh. She's not happy with any of my solutions. Is anyone else upset about my noise? Anyone have pictures? They can start posting pictures. Is anybody talking to us, Sky? How many people are here? How many people are here? Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. All right, so now I am opening up my pieces that I stitched together, and I think there are 7 pieces across. So I'm going to make a row of 7 little charms. Here. cute. This will probably be my only Halloween decoration. I know, how sad does that sound? I love Halloween, but everything's just been so consumed by wedding. And now I'm trying to, Bryce has been helping me, and we're working a little bit each day trying to start cleaning up things. So yesterday we worked a little bit in the garage and a little bit in the kitchen, and I think today will be more of the same, a little bit in the garage, a little bit in the kitchen, because things have kind of gotten neglected because we've just been trying to do all this other stuff. So one step at a time. That's all I can do, right? I don't want to eat any elephants. Guy says I can eat an elephant one bite at a time, but I don't want to eat elephants. I don't want to eat it, not even a bite at a time. No elephants for me. No, thank you. You can have the elephants. Has anybody noticed where you are? We have here at my place here in Guys Mills, just as of late, we've had 2 adult bald eagles and 2 juvenile bald eagles, like flying over here, the shop and that, a lot lately. And this has, which is, really nice and very encouraging as far as, the comeback of the eagle and so on and so forth. And, we went years and years without like hardly any. But the other comeback that we've been noticing is, or that I've noticed, is the rabbit. And my boys have actually beagles now. My dad's always had a beagle, forever, all my whole life. And, but there are so many years there where you could barely find a rabbit for the dog to run. And even still, the boys hardly ever will shoot the rabbit. They really just take the dog so the dog can chase the rabbit. Very seldom do they actually shoot the rabbit, because there aren't a tremendous amount of them. And I think that the biggest comeback of the whole thing, I think it all has to do with the farmers and what they're spraying on their crops. I think it killed a lot of rabbits off. And I think the food supply, a lot dependent for the eagles, was rabbits. And it killed a lot of rabbits, so the food supply dried up. So when there's no food, there's no eagles, right? So that's what I am thinking. So anyway, so we've been seeing so many more eagles, which is really exciting. Anyways, so my neighbor guy, they were next door day before yesterday and yesterday cleaning up his house because he passed away. And they are, the auction people are there. They're going to be having an auction next door on, I think, the 14th of November. And then I'll probably be getting new neighbors. So I hope they're nice neighbors. Well, he was an old feller, and he stayed to himself, and, he stayed on his side of the road, and I stayed on my side of the road, and, we minded our business, and that was that. I don't have anything, Bobby.
Okay, you just want to throw me in the online thing when you have a picture. Okay.
I do.
All
I
right.
will.
Thank you, Steph. Have a good day.
You too. That was my lovely meal lady. She's just a peach. And so she stopped, but I didn't have anything for her today. She's the sweetest thing ever. Anyway, so I have one row all done. Now I'm on to row 2. Anyway, so these things will go together quick now that I've got it cut. Oh dear. Okay, so if you guys haven't made it over to the Steph's Quilting and Sewing page on Facebook, it's a new group that I started up over there. Hop on over there because I think we'll continue the debate on it's not really a debate, or the conversation about the fabrics, because I'm curious what your opinions are on that whole thing. On quality of fabrics and what you think of them and where they're going and how they've been. So if you're not part of that already over there, go to that group and sign up, and they'll get you approved for being in there, because I'd really like, I'd like to hear your opinion as far as that goes. And if you haven't already gotten an email about getting a friend to sign up and getting a free kit or whatnot, send Sky a note, or Sky will send you an email if she hasn't already about signing up a friend and get a retreat, or not a retreat, but a free kit. Oh, fiddlesticks. I hate it when I do that. I have these two fabrics in the same position. Darn it. Not oh well. Yeah, I'm picking it. I'm picking it. I'm going to. I'm going to pick it out. Darn it. Well, that is, I think, a lot of diminished design, and they've made it more and more so, every Tom, Dick, and Harry can have a fabric line now. You don't have to have any, real mad skill. You can, Joe Blow can have a line of fabric. Anybody can have a line of fabric nowadays. And, whatever. Listen, I already know that I'm not a fabric designer. I don't need anybody to tell me I'm not a fabric designer. It's not me. But, some people truly don't know that they can't sing. Some people truly don't know that they're not thin. Some people truly don't believe, they just don't know. They truly believe these things. And that's okay, whatever. But I know that I'm not thin, and I know that I can't sing, and I know that I'm not a fabric designer. I know all of those things about myself. So, and I'm willing to admit it. Well, I don't know about a cut above. I just know that I'm far from perfect. Well, I'm not, and it is what it is. And like me for me or don't like me at all. It's fine. Either way is fine. So, and if any of you have suggestions on how we can grow this whole thing, because unfortunately I just don't see shows coming back in a big way for a while. I just don't. If ever. So I need to make this online thing really work. And as of right now, it's really not working super great for me. And so I'm open to any suggestions anybody may have. So if you've got any, send them along to Sky via email. That would be great. Because I'm open to suggestions. Things I may or may not know, probably don't know, because I think I've tried every single thing that I know already. And nothing seems to be working so far. So, alright, 2 rows, 2 rows. Alright, on my 3rd row, I have to remember to put those half square triangles in place. Put the half square triangles in place. There you go. Okay, great. I'm really glad that, I'm glad, Sky. That was good. Sky's reading me your comments, so, because I obviously can't read and sew. Or, well, the outcome might be bad. I can walk and chew gum. Most days, anyway. Alright, so I'm going to sew these first 2 rows together here. Making sure, so I'm going to make sure all of my seams are going one direction in each row. So I'm going to make sure the row that I'm placing on the top here is all going to go, all those seams are going to face towards me. So, and I'm just making sure that they're nesting really nicely. I said that I'm going to make sure that the row that I'm stitching now is my battery's about to die. Bryce says my battery's going to die. So just make sure you nest your seams really well. And I'm going to let you go. Next week we're going to do the same thing again, and we're going to do the applique next. So I'm going to let you all go for now. Get your top together and then stop. And we will pick up where we left off for next week. And we're going to go over some applique techniques as far as machine applique goes. Okay? So until next week, I'll see you next time. Bye. On the bottom, Bryce.
Just pull the phone out of the thing.
I don't know how to do that.
Just pull it backwards.